question 6 asks what local factors are, what do they do, and why are they beneficial? I'm going to start this response off by noting that on onset of exercise, our body's peripheral nervous systems will elicit our fight or flight response, and this will cause universal vasoconstriction, which means that our veins will become smaller in radius and therefore it'll be harder for blood to pass through them. This happens so that our bodies are not using unnecessary parts of our body when it's trying to make it easier for us to not really think, not really digest food or do things that we don't need to be doing, just focus on moving. And that's what we want it to do because it allows for increased heart rate and adrenaline and different hormones to be coming through and allow us to move more and more powerfully and quickly. But we also want to be able to do that for a longer period of time. So in order for us to do that, in order to keep blood flowing at a rate that is desirable throughout an entire workout, we need our local factors to locally dilate our blood vessels so that we can use them for increased muscle contraction ability for longer periods of time. The first local factor to talk about is the nitric oxide. So as we start to exercise, blood flow is going to blood flow is going to increase. So like speed and amount of blood that we're pumping through our veins is going to increase. And as it does, the red blood cells are going to irritate the endothelium of the arteries and veins. So once that endothelium is irritated, this elicits the release of nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is pretty much its only purpose in the veins is to dilate them and allow for that vasodilation so that blood can pass through more smoothly. Another local factor is the metabolic factors from onset of exercise. So as we start to exercise, we see an increase of CO2 production, lactate production, and we see an increase of hydrogen ions. The increase of all of these in our blood, it sends a signal to our chemoreceptors pick up on this, and they send a signal out that tells the body to vasodilate in different areas, which is awesome. And then the last local factor is capillary recruitment. And so capillary recruitment is just what it sounds like. It's just recruiting and gaining more capillaries to be used for diffusion of oxygen into the blood and for unoxygenated blood to going or for oxygenated blood to release that oxygen as well. And basically it's just a numbers game. If we have more capillaries working, then if we have more capillaries working, then we have more blood flow and more oxygen going into our blood. And if we have less, then we have less.